tu opinión de los gringos en Colombia? Auténtica.
Ok. Yo siento que, o sea, yo siento que son los perdedores de Estados Unidos y se vienen aquí por mujeres lindas a bajos precios y ya.
Solo ese.
No mentiras.
¿Por qué?
Pero yo siento que, o sea, obviamente hay muchos tipos de gringos y así, pero por lo general vienen por las cosas no tan buenas de Medellín a muy, pues porque aquí les rinde mucho más el...
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello YouTube, it's your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, coming at you again with another YouTube video. And the title of this video is called Passport Bros Cheer as Trump ushers in the Passport Bro Movement 2.0 upgrade. Now, at the beginning of this video, you saw a Colombian woman address the Passport Bros in a very negative manner. And I know you may be thinking, what does that video have to do with Trump and how his policies and so forth are going to help the Passport Bro movement? And let me put it this way. That woman's attitude has a lot to deal with a lot of the open border policies and that kind of thing. So I'm going to address that. And then I'm going to show you how that ties into the topic of this video. So let me just say this. That woman personally is a product of the Biden years. And me personally, I put out a poll earlier in which I asked everyone, do you think that the Passport Bro movement was better under when Biden was in power or when Trump was in power? And more people said it felt like there was a lot more going on in a positive manner under Trump than necessarily in the Biden years. I totally agree with that. I'm going to address a lot of that in this video. But let me just say this. Let me debunk some of what this woman is saying, and then I'm going to tie that into the video. So first off, let me just say this. The guy pretty much asked her, what does she think about the Passport Bros? And she pretty much brought up the stereotype of that all Passport Bros are basically just going there for a lot of the red light activities for the most part. One, which is not true. And two, even if it is true, you won't have to ask how would she know about that? And if you notice, basically what she's saying is the only time she really encounters a lot of foreigners is when they're looking for drugs or they're looking for, like the red light activities, which by that you can obviously tell that she actually is either part of red light activities or she's in those areas. I personally believe this is a street girl, and me personally, just from my attitude, she's probably someone that had pretty much snuck over the border, was in the United States, possibly had got deported. So even though Biden hasn't been deporting a lot of people in droves, there have been. I've been talking to some girls in Colombia. There has been some deportation. So I personally believe she's one of the people that got deported. She might have been working a regular job, without papers in the United States. So she got a little bit comfortable making American dollars and so forth. So now that she's got deported back into Colombia, now she's dealing with foreigners there. And so now she has kind of a contempt for some Americans. She feels like I'm equal to you, for the most part, she's equal to most Americans. She's looking down on the Passport Bros because she kind of feels like that we're like taking advantage. Because of course, when she got in the United States, what's one of the rules that Passport Bros usually say? They say don't bring them back to the States. This is one of the reasons why. When she comes to the States, as you know, there are a lot of simps and thirsty males in the United States. And in this case, even the average looking women like that woman, she's okay looking. She's not, nothing exceptional about her. But you know how thirsty most Americans men are, because unfortunately we have a huge percentage of our women are obese. So even just being in shape or slightly skinny kind of, gives a lot of women the advantage. So of course, when she got here and she's obviously in shape, she got a lot more attention here than she would back in Colombia. Because in Colombia, there's like there's pools and pools of beautiful women. She obviously, I'm sure you guys have seen some of the photos of the Colombian women I've shown you some of other videos. She's kind of like maybe a 5, something like that. She's average looking. I mean, she's not bad looking, but there's nothing exceptional about her. But of course, when she got here, she felt like there was something exceptional about her. So here she is going back into Colombia, being approached by American men. And of course, now she feels some kind of way because most American men are not really impressed because obviously you go there, you look around, you see women who are way more prettier than her. So then when these guys are approaching her, especially in their red light areas, she feels some kind of way about that. It kind of hurts her ego. So, of course, the way to backlash on that is to say, well, these guys are just losers. These are the trash of America and so forth. So that's where a lot of that is coming from. Now, how does that tie into like the Biden administration? As you can see with the open border policies, you got people from all walks of life, all different countries just flooding over into the border. In my personal opinion, a lot of these people are probably working in the trucking, or they're doing like Uber Eats and delivery jobs and like fast food. They're doing it without papers. Because I actually remember a long time ago, I used to work at McDonald's. Several people I worked with there, they didn't have any papers, but because the managers there were from their country, but they actually were legal. A lot of times they actually paid them. I don't know how they got. I'm assuming there was some way they were able to get around it where they were able to work. But I know for a fact that some of them were like working there illegally. So that's where a lot of them are right now. They're in the country. Some of them are working illegally in fast food. They might be doing delivery jobs, Uber Eats. Some of them probably doing trucking. Some might be like in a mechanic shop, working with a lot of the mechanics and so forth. You know, like little jobs here and there and that kind of thing. So a lot of them have been here doing that. Some have gotten deported, not a whole lot, even though now the media is trying to make it seem like there's a lot of people getting deported and they're shutting down the border, which is really just them just trying to put up a good face until hopefully in their mind Kamala gets back in there. Then they're going to open the border, back up again. Now, let me say this. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I know who I'm going to vote for. You have to vote your own interests. And of course, and let me say this, regardless of who you're voting for, you're still welcome to my channel. I don't, block people because of they have a different political affiliation. You need to do what's in your best interest. I'm just in this video and the previous one, I just want to state the facts and just how I already talked about how if Kamala got into power, how her policies would benefit the passport role. So now I'm talking about how Trump, if he got into power, how his policies will benefit the passport role movement. That's all I'm doing here. So either way, whoever you vote for, your choice, you do what you got to do. I already know who I'm voting for. So that being said, let me get a little bit deeper into this. Now, how is Trump going to reset this whole thing? Because here's the issue. Now that a lot of women, a good portion of them from some of these other countries have poured over into the border, they're getting accustomed to American lifestyles. They're getting accustomed to our culture and that kind of thing. As you know, some of them are in these high-priced hotels. Of course, they're watching all types of television. We basically are feeding them, giving them money to spend, food stamps, all types of stuff. So one of the issues you're going to encounter is, because first off, when Trump gets in there, you already know he's already talking about mass deportations and that kind of thing. So let's say he gets into power. He pushes all these people back to their country. They all flood back. Keep in mind now you got a huge amount of women who were in America. They're now back in their poor countries. So they're there now. So when you go to these countries and you encounter them, just keep this in mind. Just like that woman you saw at the beginning of the video, she's not going to be the only one. You're going to probably run into a few more of those women while you're in your country, whether it's in Colombia, it's in Brazil, whether you go to China or you go to the Philippines, you're going to run into a few of the women that have actually been here, but they got deported. And you're going to notice they have a little bit of content and a little bit of an attitude. But that's okay because I can assure you when Trump gets in there, a lot of things are going to be fixed. Like, first off, as you can see on the screen, what I'm showing you is the U.S. dollar versus the Colombian peso. When Trump originally was in there, the U.S. dollar was surging against the Colombian peso. It surged so much that even when he got out of office, it continued up to about 2002, roughly around there when Biden got in there. And then slowly, as you can see, it descended down. It had reached its highest point ever. It had reached 5,000 pesos against one U.S. dollar. That's the highest it had ever been. And then around that 2002 point, it made hard dips, even to the point where I want to say before even Trump got in there, it reached like those levels. Like it was I'm not gonna say an all-time low, but it reached a low that probably I didn't see it that low since the first time I went to Colombia. And that was back in it had been like a minute. But either way, I say to say this: when Trump gets back in there, I believe he's going to strengthen our dollar because first off, there's not going to be many. There's not going to be. It's not going to be as many people, many workers in the United States. It's not going to be as many dollars circulating. So pretty much from that, there's gonna be like basically our dollar is going to get stronger by Trump getting in there. He's going to, as you know, he talked about putting tariffs on some of foreign goods. He already talked about crypto. I know some of y'all trade crypto. I'm a little eerie about the crypto thing, but he talked very friendly about crypto. And I do remember when he was in the office, I actually had a buddy that was trading crypto, and he made like a huge return on crypto during that time. Crypto was completely taken off. It was completely taken off. Now it's still like a market I'm still like a little eerie about because it's not like a lot of information about it. But I do know that when he was in power, the crypto space was really, really taking off. So I feel like when he gets back into power, a lot of you are invested in crypto, stocks, that kind of thing. I believe stocks and a lot of the trading instruments, a lot of those are going to start taking off. So you're going to make more money that way. Keep in mind as well that when Trump got into power, a lot of people got deported. There was lots and lots of openings and jobs across the country. I believe they were saying there was a bunch of factories that got raided. And as soon as those people got deported, a huge amount of black men in general were able to start getting those jobs. So jobs that originally were given to a lot of the illegal foreigners and that kind of thing. So as soon as he gets into office and those people are getting deported, just know that whatever industry you're in, whether you're in trucking, I'm in the IT space and so forth. I just remember during that time, I had a lot more IT opportunities. It was jobs left and right lining up. And I just feel like during these last few years, there was a lot of jobs that like, put this away, just extra picky. It was just a little bit more difficult to find good opportunities over these past couple years. And to be honest with you, I believe it's because there's probably a lot of, people from like, Asia that are in the IT space, and they've imported a lot of these people that are getting visas and so forth. But I know that when Trump gets in there and he's going to deport a lot of these people, just know there's going to be lots of opportunities. Same thing with the trucking. Like I told you before, I believe like a lot of the foreigners are in the truck industry. They're driving a lot of trucks. Like I said, some of them working with mechanics and so forth. So when these people get deported, just know there's going to be lots and lots of new opportunities popping up out of the blue. And I say that to say that during this period when Trump gets back into power, if he gets back into power, just know that in many cases your wallet is going to definitely benefit from it. Not only that, our dollar is going to be very, very strong against a lot of other currencies. As you know, he's already talking about potentially trying to end this war, which is hurting us as well. As Ukraine, pretty much all these little wars we're in, he's trying to ease that a little bit. And also, like I said, he's trying to put a lot of tariffs on like the imports and so forth, which will cause a lot of jobs, a lot of companies to build here in the United States, cause more jobs and so forth. So overall, what I'm trying to say is that it's going to be really, really good for our pocketbooks. Now, that being said, now that you have more money in your pocketbooks, you're going to be able to take more trips, visit more countries. In addition to that, here's the other thing you didn't think about as well. So, excuse me. A lot of people like this is one talking point that Trump has said. He has said that now whether it's true or not, just bear with me. He said that because a lot of the countries have been emptying out their jails and so forth, and they're bringing them to the United States, and all these other countries, their crime rates have gone down and so forth. So, I said it to say this: a lot of their, I would say like their low skilled workers and so forth in these countries, a lot of them have migrated towards the United States. But when Trump deports them, they're going to have a surplus of these workers all throughout their countries. As a result, it's going to have an effect on the wages and so forth there. That being said, you're going to get a huge discount on hotels, discount on food, discount on your stay there, discount on trips there, because there's going to be a huge need for business, like, business and people have funds and so forth, because now it's going to cause a situation where there's a surplus of workers and it's not as much work. So that woman you saw at the beginning of this video, even though she may have contempt for Americans and so forth, and try to, she might try to stereotype us as just going, one of the, or she might just want to stereotype us as just wanting to only go and check out red light type of activities and so forth. But here's the thing. During these past 3 years or so, the mayor of Medellin, he had came out. He went to the airport passing out flyers telling them foreigners don't come here. Because there was a lot of, let's just say, activities that shouldn't have taken place in those areas had taken place. So he pretty much went to the airport to a lot of foreigners don't bring that here. They had shut down parts of Medellin because of that. If you remember Cartagena, that was shut down because they were saying there was a lot of, and I got to be careful on YouTube. There was a lot of women being taken advantage of. I'll put it that way. So that area got shut down. It was talking about kicking foreigners out, keeping the foreigners out of there. But here's the thing. When you have a surplus of workers in your country, you're going to need more business. You're going to need something to stimulate the economy. So you're not going to want to chase foreigners away. So that being said, what I believe is going to happen is not only in Colombia, but in Brazil and a lot of these other countries, you're going to suddenly see a, you're going to see a call to a lot of passport bros and foreigners in general to come visit their country because it's going to help stimulate their economy because they need new business. So, and I believe in Colombia, one of the big sectors they wanted to grow was the tourism sector. So you're going to receive several invitations for several different countries for you to come down to their country. So that being said, even though you have some of these bitter women, these spiteful women who think they're American boss babes now because they spent a few months in America, they won't have the leverage to really show you a lot of contempt because they're going to need your business in a sense. So that being said, I wouldn't even worry about, I mentioned before a little bit earlier that there's going to be more women like that woman in the beginning of the video. There are going to be a little bit more of those women there. But the thing is, the business, they're going to need your business to such a degree is not even going to really matter. In fact, I feel like you're actually going to have even more leverage now because it's because them now taking back a lot of their previous citizens is going to put a lot of strain on their resources and stuff there to the point where they're going to really, really appreciate your business there. I believe hotel prices are going to go down. Flights might even get cheaper. You're going to be able to catch flights here and there. And I think you're going to get the royal treatment just like, let's just say, during the beginning stages of the Passport Bro movement, in my personal opinion, prices of everything, whether it was hotels, trips, or even, they just say like, there was a time I have a girlfriend now, but when I was in a red light area, dealing with some red light activity and so forth, even those prices were even lower. I just feel like now a lot of women have got a little ego. It's been a lot of, I hate to say it, simps going there, but this is going to really reset a lot of things because there's going to be such a need for more business to come to these countries that, and there's going to be so much competition because Trump is not only talking about doing a few he's talking about not only mass deportations. He's even considering, looking at a lot of these, people that overstayed visas, even some people that have been here, like even people in sanctuary cities and so forth. He's thinking about going into those states and deporting even those people as well. So what I'm saying is it's going to be like a very deep type of deportations, which means there's going to be a huge amount of competition for a lot of women there. So in order to compete, they're going to have to fix a lot of these prices and so forth. So you're not going to have, so even though that woman is complaining, she thinks she has contempt, but put it this way, she's saying that now where there's not really a lot of people being deported, but once all these deportations start and she has to compete with all these different women, I think she's going to have a change of heart. She's going to have a change of heart. And I don't think she's going to be as disrespectful as she is. Right now, she can say that because in her mind, she thinks she's just going to eventually just migrate back to the United States and that kind of thing. So she doesn't have that much respect for foreigners and so forth. But she will if Trump gets back in there, which in many cases, it looks like he's on schedule to go there. So that being said, some of the things Trump was talking about doing is he's thinking about doing no tax on overtime, no tax on tips. So it's going to help a lot of guys. Maybe you guys are doing like Uber Eats and that kind of thing. And the same thing with overtime as well. Maybe you're a trucker, you work a lot of overtime and your pay is tax at a certain rate. He's going to get rid of that. So that's going to put more money in your pocket. And then most of all, as I said before, by him resetting the whole passport bro movement, there's going to be less, in my opinion, xenophobia in these other countries. During like the Biden administration, there was like a lot of it. It's just if Kamala gets back in there, it's debatable whether or not it will increase. But either way, I think I've seen more under the Biden administration than I did under the Trump administration. So I'm just going to say that. And so that being said, that's kind of my take on how Trump will usher in like the Passport Bro movement 2.0 upgrade. And and by the way, and just to end it off, keep in mind with that woman that you saw at the beginning of the video, there's going to be more women like her on TikTok making videos and so forth, trying to discourage Passport Bros from coming to their country, which is fine with me because as you can see, I just made about at least 10 minutes of content off her video. So I'm looking forward to it. If you remember that, even though her attacks were meant to dissuade us, in many cases, it built the platform for a lot of the Passport Bros who have YouTube content. I have content, lots of content to react to. So I definitely appreciate the haters it definitely gives me content to make, makes this whole movement a little bit more entertaining. It gives us opportunity to tag up and talk about a lot of the issues going on in the Passport Bro, movement community. And yeah, so I'm going to end on that note. So, but either way, you guys tell me what you think. Tell me in the comments if you think that Trump administration will be very good for the Passport Bro movement. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the notification bell. And I'll try to put out another video tomorrow. And until then, this is the Passport Bro wingman signing off.
Dear Passport Boys, dear Passport Bros, stop calling yourself Passport Boys and Passport Bros. Are you going to the Philippines to look for a Filipina queen or what? So stop calling yourself Passport Boys and Passport Bros. Start calling yourself Passport Kings.